when we come to the book of Judges, I am really stuck for a chapter to choose. There's a book by George Campbell Morgan called Great Chapters of the Bible, and I'm beginning to feel what he must have felt, because there are so many wonderful things that you'd want to include. However, I need to pick one. For the book of Judges, the verses at the end, in those days there was no king in Israel. Every man did what was right in his own eyes. It was a period of spiritual anarchy that resulted in a series of moral and spiritual lapses that resulted in Israel being given over to their enemies. They then cry out to God, who delivers them and raises up a judge, but the cycle repeats itself again and again, 7 times. The men in the book of Judges really don't come over very well at all. First we have Barak. Barak says to Deborah, if you don't come with me, I'm not going. Then there's Gideon. God comes to him and says, mighty man. And Gideon replies, my clan is the smallest, my family is the smallest in the clan, and I'm the least significant of the lot. Who am I? Then we have Jephthah with his reckless vow and total lack of wisdom. The first thing I see on return with victory, I will sacrifice. I mean, who makes that sort of promise? And having made it, who keeps it? And then there's Samson. What can we say about Samson? A man filled with the Spirit who lusts after the flesh, and it kills him in the end. The 2 heroes of the book of Judges, as far as I can tell, are Deborah and Jael. Deborah, the prophetess, and Jael with the nail, who slew Sisera with a tent peg and a mallet. Well, in those days there was no king. The abiding message of the book of Judges is the need for men and women who are going to follow Christ and become effective leaders, filled with the Spirit, but also maintaining a godly character. Those 2 ingredients are vital for any effective leadership. You've got to have a credible character. You can't have a moral disaster leading God's people. But we've had too many stories of charismatic leaders who've had moral failures and compromised their integrity, led the people astray, done what was right in their own sight, refused to take counsel and submit their lives to others. No, we must pray that God will raise up such quality people in our day. These turbulent times with all the troubles as we're battered and tossed around in so many different ways, socially, financially, so many uncertainties. Yeah, like the time of Judges, there may be chaos around, but in the midst of it all, God can raise up men and women who are filled with the Spirit and can lead forth with wisdom, courage, faith, and integrity.